Psyche, prostrate on the ground, tried to follow her husband's flight with her eyes as far as she could, while venting her anguish in desperate laments. Then, when the flapping of his wings carried Cupid away into the depths of space and rendered him invisible, she threw herself headlong from the bank of the nearby river. But the gentle river, certainly in homage to that god who can set fire even to the waters, and fearing also for itself, immediately enveloped her in its waves without harming her, and placed her on the grassy and flower-strewn bank. By chance, the rustic god Pan happened to be sitting there on the riverbank, holding his mountain goddess Echo in his arms and teaching her to sing the most varied tunes. Along the bank, wandering goats, grazing here and there, nibbled on the river's grassy canopy. The goat god, gently calling to poor, broken-hearted and exhausted Psyche, not unaware of what had happened, tried to console her with these soothing words.
Pretty girl, I am, it's true, a rustic and shepherd, but my old age has taught me many things. If I'm not mistaken, and this is for those who understand the true art of the soothsayer, I sense from your uncertain and faltering step, from your excessive pallor, from your constant sighs, and finally from your eyes so sorrowful that you are sick with a great love. So listen to me, and don't try again to throw yourself somewhere or kill yourself in any other way. Stop weeping and put aside all sadness, and instead pray to Cupid, the most powerful of the gods, and try to propitiate him with tender homage, for he is a delicate youth and sensitive to love.
When the god of shepherds had finished speaking, Psyche, without answering him a single word, but devoutly greeting him as a deity, continued on her way. Walking and walking, along a long, tiring and unknown road towards evening, she reached a city where the husband of one of her sisters reigned. When Psyche learned of this, she asked to be announced. She was immediately ushered in, and after they had exchanged kisses and embraces, Psyche justified the reason for her arrival by saying,
"Do you remember the good advice you gave me? That is, to kill with a sharp razor the beast that was lying with me, pretending to be my husband, before it swallowed me up in its voracious gluttony. Well, as soon as, with the help of the lamp, as you had advised, I saw his face, a stupendous and truly divine sight presented itself before my eyes. It was the very son of the goddess Venus, Cupid himself. He, I tell you, immersed in the sweetest sleep. And while I stood there, struck by that sublime spectacle, and troubled by such immense pleasure that I seemed unable to bear the enjoyment, my unlucky stars willed that boiling oil splashed from the lamp onto his shoulder. He immediately awoke in pain, and seeing me armed with iron and fire, he exclaimed, "Begone after you have attempted this abominable crime. Leave my bed at once, and take with you all your belongings. My lawful wife will be your sister," and he expressly mentioned your name. Then he ordered Zephyr to blow me away from his house.
Psyche had not yet finished speaking when her sister, driven by the sting of lustful frenzy and wicked envy, cunningly invented a solemn lie for her husband, telling him that her parents had died, and immediately boarded a ship and headed for the rock. The wind was blowing differently than usual, but she, all stretched out in her blind hope, shouted,
"Here I am, Cupid! Here I am! I am the bride worthy of you! And you, Zephyr, welcome your lady!"
And with a huge leap, she threw herself down. She didn't even get to where she wanted to go dead. In fact, her body bounced here and there on the sharp rocks and shattered as it deserved. And her torn and scattered limbs became easy food for birds and wild beasts. And the second revenge was not long in coming. Indeed, Psyche, resuming her aimless journey, reached another city where her other sister lived. This one too, like the first, deceived by a false sisterly love and a rival to her sister in that wicked marriage, rushed towards the cliff and fell in the same way, to her death.